Good morning, class 9th. Today, geography chapter number 2, physical features of India. Here we will explain the northern plain. The northern plain, it is situated in the northern portion of India. Now, for the formation of northern plain, the northern plain spread over 7 lakh square kilometer has been formed by three river systems, mainly Indus River, Ganga River and Brahmaputra River, along with their tributaries. The rivers coming from northern mountains deposit alluvial soil in this region. Before draining into the sea, the rivers slow down due to gentle slope in this region. They split into many channels or distributaries due to the deposition of silt. Distributaries means what? When the rivers comes from a main river, that are called distributaries. Next, the reduced velocity of the rivers also result in the formation of riverine island. Here you can see that the riverine island, look at this island, this riverine island. The example of riverine island is Majuli island. It is situated in Brahmaputra river. This Ganga plain or this total plain is highly populated or densely populated. Alluvial soil, adequate water supply and favorable climate produce a huge amount of crops. The northern plains is divided into three plains. First one Punjab plain, second one Ganga plain and third one Brahmaputra plain. Now look at this, the Punjab plain, it forms in the western part of northern plain, and this is formed by Indus and its tributaries Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. A major portion of this region is in Pakistan, where these are mainly Doabs. Next come to Ganga plain. This plain extends from Ghagar and Tista river. In between this plain is situated. Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and part of Jharkhand and West Bengal. Here West Bengal lie in this region. Next one is Brahmaputra region or Brahmaputra plain. This plain forms in the eastern of the northern plain and lies mainly in Assam. Next, point number 4, that is the features of northern plain. Features of northern plains divided into 4 features. First one Bhabar, second Tarai, then Bhangar and Khadar. Bhabar means what? The width of this belt is about 8 to 16 km and it lies parallel to Shivalik. After descending from the mountains, the rivers deposit pebbles here. Pebbles means small types of rocks. All the streams disappear in this belt. Next one is Tarai region. This region lies towards the south of the Bhabar belt. In this region, the streams reappear and make it a wet, swampy and marshy land or region. The thick forest of this region have been cleared for agriculture and settlement. After that is Bhangar. The largest part of the northern plain is composed by old alluvium. It lies above the floodplains. The soil of this region is locally known as Kankad. Then last one point is Khadar. These floodplains are formed by young alluvium. This soil of this region is renewed every year and thus is highly fertile. We have to learn the difference between Bhangar and Khadar also next time. Next, the peninsular plateau, another portion of the physical part, that is peninsular plateau. This region is composed of the old igneous and metamorphic rocks. Then Aravalli hills lie in the western and northwestern regions of the peninsular plateau. They extend from the Gujarat to Delhi. Delhi in a southward and eastward direction. The black soils area of the peninsular plateau is known as Deccan Trough. The main divisions of the plateau are the Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau. Now look at here, it is Aravalli mountain and here is Malwa Plateau. After that Vindhya range. This portion is called what? Central Plateau, and this plateau extended up to Chhattisgarh Plateau. This region, this middle of the India, this region is called Central Highland. Now come to the next portion, that is from the Western Ghat. This is Western Ghat and here is Eastern Ghat. From Western Ghat to Eastern Ghat, this area is like a triangle. This triangle area is called what? Deccan Plateau. These two regions are important for the plateau region. Central region or Central Highland lies to the north of the Narmada River and covers the major area of the Malwa Plateau. It is bounded by the Vindhya range on the north, on the south, and Aravalli range on the northwestern part, and towards the west it emerges with the desert or third desert of Rajasthan. Here we can find Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, Ken, these rivers, and the Central Highland are wider in the west and narrow in the east, and Bundelkhand, Bagelkhand are the eastward extensions of this plateau. Chotnagpur Plateau marks its future eastwards extension. Next one is the Deccan Plateau. It lies in the south of the Narmada and it is triangular in shape. It is bounded by the Satpura range in the north, then Mahadev, Maikal hills and Kaimur hills are in the east. This plateau is higher in the west and gently slopes towards east. And in this region we can see the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. We have to learn here the difference between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats also. Western Ghat lies parallel to the western coast, while Eastern Ghats stretch from Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. The Western Ghat are continuous and can be crossed through passes only, whereas the Eastern Ghats are discontinued and dissected by rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The Anaimudi is the highest peak of Western Ghat, while Mahendragiri is the highest peak of Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats cause orographic rainfall. Next point is Great Indian Desert. It lies towards the west of the Aravalli Hills. Here is Aravalli Hill. It is a sandy plain covered with sand dunes. This region receives very less rainfall, below 150 millimeter per year. It has an arid climate and scanty vegetation. The Luni is the only river here. Then Barkhans cover large areas of this region. What is Barkhan? Barkhan is the half circle sand dunes. Continue. We will continue. The only one portion is left, that is coastal plains and islands. Okay.